You know, man, I would have to agree with Daniel Bryan this week. I hate liars. I really do. Because we unfortunately weren't able to catch the game live because we were working and shit. And we were excited to get home from work and watch the Steelers game, see who's shining and everything. And we go to put on the game on our DVR and shit. And instead of the Panther, and we recorded the showcasing on NFL Network and shit.
Because it's supposed to be on NFL Network, like they advertised a million times on social media leading up to the game.
Exactly. So, but instead of the Panthers versus the Steelers preseason game, it's fucking A Football Life with Michael Vick.
Who cares?
Who fucking gives a shit?
I'm going to tune to NFL Network to see A Football Life of Michael Vick. I'm sure it's a very inspirational episode, but I did not tune in the NFL Network to see Michael Vick.
Yeah, it's a fucking Thursday night. I want to watch some fucking football. I don't want to see Michael Vick on my television. I want to see football. Live football.
And we didn't get to see that.
Yeah. So
the thing is, NFL Network continuously advertised it saying, Steelers and Panthers preseason week 4 game at 7 o'clock Eastern Central Time and shit.
But it's not actually fucking there, man. See, man.
Because it's not in our area. It's like you're advertising it on NFL Network, so it should be on in all areas.
Right. I understand if the game is being broadcast on ABC or NBC or CBS or whatever, in the same area and everything, and the game's being scheduled for one of those cable channels, those broadcast channels, and as well as NFL Network, but why can't you just broadcast on 2 different fucking channels? It would help us so fucking much.
I don't know, dude.
I don't get it, man. And then, so what we had to do is that, what we tried to do is that we tried to go to NFL Game Pass and everything, try to go watch the game. And I signed up for the free trial and everything. It turns out that we can't replay fucking preseason games or games in general under a free trial until 3 days after the actual game is finished.
Which is some fucking bullshit,
so
if you ask me.
So you're telling me I'm wasting my fucking free trial? I have to wait 3 days to watch a game? Because the free trial is 7 days. I am wasting 3 days out of my 7-day free trial just to watch a fucking game that... It's the final preseason game. None of that shit matters. The final cuts are going to be done Saturday by 4 p.m. So it's I don't need to watch the game no more. So it's what the fuck? So what we had to do, and unfortunately, and I hate doing this, is we had to base it off of internet and stats and a 7.5-minute highlight video on NFL official YouTube page. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to give you guys the full, complete, analytic, pre-game recap and everything.
Yeah,
that we
review
usually do.
we usually do. So we're going to have to base it off
what we've seen,
stats and the highlights.
Right, and what we've seen from that specific video. So we're just going to get into it, man. Obviously, as you guys know, Josh Dobbs got to start today, started the game and everything. And from what we've seen, I don't know if you guys haven't seen anything. According to his stats, he didn't do shit. From what we saw in the highlight video, he didn't do shit. The only thing that we saw from Josh Dobbs is that he muffed a snap, recovered, tried to run, and got sacked for a loss.
Yeah, I mean, in the whole preseason, I didn't really see anything major from Dobbs, outside maybe of 1-2 plays max.
A game.
If anything. I mean, the entire preseason, he played decent, but he kept playing inconsistent.
He's very inconsistent. Now, he didn't really have any big names tonight, Deontay Johnson's probably the biggest name on offense, I believe. Then again, I don't know who all played. I know Devin Bush played for the defense. We'll get into that later. But for the offensive side, I know Juju and Connor and, of course, Ben didn't play. I don't know whose receivers were. I know Deontay Johnson played. I know Johnny Holton played, who had a great game. We'll get into that later as well. So I don't know who his top targets were. But if he can't do shit against, decent targets at that, then shit. He ain't shit.
Yeah, maybe he's not worth a roster spot, really.
Yeah. I trust me, I really like Josh Dobbs, man. I was high on him coming out of Tennessee. I proclaimed him to be the next Dak Prescott. I apologize to
I bet you take that back.
I take that back incredibly. That is just pure disrespect on Josh Dobbs' part. I'm sorry. But, I give him a lot of hype. I was very hype on him coming out of Tennessee. And
as did I.
And from a third-year guy, he ain't doing shit. He's just very inconsistent, and we're seeing more from a second-year quarterback and an undrafted quarterback. So
which is very
disappointing.
Yeah, really.
Honestly, I don't know what Josh Dobbs' future holds. I don't know if we're going to trade him like the rumors are stating. I don't know if we're going to keep him on the roster. I don't know if we're just going to cut him like we did Landry Jones last year, which would be ironic as hell because we're like, oh, we should keep Josh Dobbs this year and cut Landry Jones. You know, that's what we said last year.
And now we're saying that we should keep Devin Hodges, and who knows, Josh Dobbs could get cut.
Yeah, which is ironic as hell because it's the same shit.
Right, but as for Josh Dobbs and his future with the Steelers,
I don't know what it holds.
As for us right now, it's really unknown.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next 48 hours and everything. It's going to be interesting for sure. Mason Rudolph eventually relieved him and everything, and from what we saw as well, from his stats and everything, personally, I mean, he had more highlights in the highlight video, and he actually had a pretty good and pretty decent game as well. Another really good showing tonight from the second-year quarterback who was definitely going to be the number 2 quarterback if that wasn't already confirmed or inevitable.
Yeah, seriously.
So he's definitely the number 2 without a doubt. He had this real decent throw. It was pretty underthrown. He threw a deep pass to Johnny Holton. Yeah, it was underthrown, but it was a great play by Johnny Holton to contract back and make the great play and everything. Johnny Holton, who had a great game, 3 receptions, 86 yards, and a touchdown, which Mason Rudolph, I mean, that wasn't the last time we saw them connect because very late in the first half, Cameron Sutton got a pretty much easy fucking interception. Probably the easiest interception we'll probably see from any cornerback, honestly, because I don't know what that throw was by. Who was the quarterback?
Will Grier.
So I don't know what the hell that was by Will Grier, but Cameron Sutton got a pick that gave us one more possession before the end of the first half, and then the first play of that possession, Mason Rudolph threw a fucking phenomenal deep ball, an absolute dime to Johnny Holton, man. Great play from both guys, man. Johnny Holton is really making a case for the number 6 spot or for a potential practice squad guy. You know, it's really gonna be between, in my opinion, it's gonna be between Deontay Spencer and Johnny Holton. I think Eli Rogers is completely out of the conversation now. He is the more familiar face. He is the more experienced guy, but
hasn't done anything.
Yeah,
really.
Spencer and Holton are showing a lot more and showing a lot more positive this preseason, man. I wouldn't be shocked if either of them make the rush as number 6 or if the other gets at a practice squad spot,
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, before the Saturday deadline.
Yeah, seriously. But Mason Rudolph had a pretty decent showing. Another one, man, he's definitely the number 2. Mason Rudolph is honestly the real deal, man. He just keeps making plays. He keeps remaining consistent. And also on that underthrown ball to Holton, he did like a nice pump fake, which really faked out the defense back and gave Holton a lot more room on the deep ball and everything. You know, if it was a little deeper, I think Holton could have made a much bigger play. But if you think about it, the defense back was kind of right there. So maybe Rudolph did make the proper throw, if you really think about it. It depends how you look at it.
That's the great thing about Rudolph. He's got great field awareness of the defense backs and everything. So he throws the right type of ball.
Right,
really.
Man. And that really goes to show you, Mason Rudolph just continues to progress week by week, and he's showing great consistency, man. And he's only going to get better. He's only in his second year. He's already showing signs of being the future, and he has a lot more to learn, which is
really
fucking scary, man.
He really does.
It's great to see. But that's pretty much it for Mason Rudolph. Delvin Hodges came in and played the entire second half, I believe, and he did decent as well. He threw an interception that was intended for Zach Gentry, but it was just a phenomenal play by the Panthers defender who just ripped the ball from Gentry's hands, which brings me up to my next point. Trade for a fucking tight end or sign a tight end because, goddamn, we need a tight end because none of these tight ends showed shit tonight. From what I saw, from what I read, from what I seen, I mean, Zach Gentry, I know he's a rookie and all, but he needs to show more aggression on that play. It was a nice, pretty thrown ball by Hodges. The defensive back or the defender, I believe it was a linebacker, but the defender just made a great ball or a great play just ripping the ball away from Gentry's hands. But he needs to show more aggression. He needs to show more, impact on that play.
Right, of course.
I don't expect him to do, top-tier elite things, knowing that he's just a 5th-round pick and everything, but he could show a little bit more effort. And the tight end position is clearly weak. We need to trade or sign a tight end.
Yeah, because this entire preseason, our tight ends have not showed up. Granville kept dropping passes. And again, Gentry's just a rookie. But I feel like Gentry, I'm not trying to shit on him, but it looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing out there outside of the touchdown he got in the first preseason game.
Right.
Outside of that, he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
He's dropped passes. He didn't prevent an interception from tonight.
Right.
Gentry's not really doing much. And again, Grimble, he's crap.
He's massive. He is poop. Like, I know you guys are saying, give him a chance. He hasn't really gotten a number 2, or he hasn't gotten the chance to be a number 2. But a dude that was the number 3 for 3 fucking years You think we see some sort of progression from him?
And we haven't at all. This is what preseason's for. He hasn't done anything.
Like, why is he on this roster?
Like, I think it was week 2. I think it was week 2 in the preseason. I believe it was from Mason Rudolph. Rudolph threw that ball straight to Grimmel's hands. He just dropped it.
Right.
No defensive backs around. No defenders around whatsoever. He just dropped it.
Granted, it was, raining and everyone was pretty much dropping shit. There was a ton of turnovers in that game, but still, man. We need to fix the tight end position. We need to sort something out. I would not mind Jack Doyle whatsoever. I'm hearing his name's being tossed around, and I believe we even put his name in an article about possible trades or possible tight ends we could trade for before the end of preseason, which we put on SteelUnits.com, which I'll put the link to that in the description below. Definitely go check that out, man. He made a great article about possible tight ends we could trade.
Yeah, because our tight end position is probably the weakest on the team.
Seriously.
It really is. Vance goes down, we're fucked at that position.
Yeah.
We need to make a trade or a sign desperately.
Right.
Because if we don't, Ben's not going to have that type of security blanket like he usually does.
Yeah.
He can't always rely on his receivers.
Right.
That's what the tight end position is for. That's what he's always had his entire career with Heath, with James, with McDonald.
Yeah. Well, now we need to see is we need McDonald to take it to that next level. Last year he showed signs of breaking out. He needs to take it to that next level now. I feel like that would, that would kind of shut us up, or that would calm us down, calm the nerves of our concerns at the tight end position if McDonald were to take it up to that next level. But
and if he stays healthy too.
Right, but I don't know, man. I think we need to make a trade for a tight end ASAP, or make a move for a tight end or something, man, because it's needed. It's needed. If McDonald goes down, fucked.
Yeah, really.
Fucked, man. Seriously. But other than that, offense didn't really do much. I mean, granted, it was mostly backups playing and everything. It was more so the battle with the quarterbacks. That's pretty much what all was focused on for the offense.
I mean, receivers did decent. Rushing wise, we didn't do shit. Really.
Benny Snell didn't do shit.
I think he had 8 rushes for 12 yards.
Yeah. Granted, his offensive line was like fucking Derwin Gray and Gerald Hawkins.
It's just fifth string. Fred Johnson's sleeper in his own, but
he's going to be a practice squad development.
Yeah, but I mean, Snell really had nothing but fifth stringers. If he had the starting offensive line, I'm sure Snell would do better.
Right.
Snell hasn't really had the chance to shine, to show off with the starting offensive line.
Right.
If he does this regular season, I really think he can surprise a lot of people.
And I kind of feel like that was kind of prevented from seeing a little bit more from Jalen Samuels coming to his second year. He's definitely going to have a much bigger role in the offense.
Right.
And this entire preseason was pretty much just was a showcase for the receivers and for the quarterbacks. So maybe Snell, like you said, didn't get much of an opportunity. But I mean, I didn't expect him to come out and make an immediate impact or make a fucking, crazy deal or just all this good shit about Benny Snell and everything. We gave him hype coming into preseason, but I think next year he could take it to the next level, similar to what Le'Veon Bell did, because when Bell came in his first year, he didn't really do much, but then he took it to the elite level. And the second, I'm not saying that's going to be the same with Benny Snell, but I feel like with a year marinated, eventually next year
and some development, I'm sure Snell can really break out.
Right, but that's next year.
We gotta look forward to this year.
I'm sure Snell will see a lot of time on special teams, which is where he's definitely going to get his feet wet, which is good for him. He showed a lot of promise there throughout the preseason, so that's good for him.
But as for the offense, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, now
we talked about just about everything.
Yeah. Now for the defense, man, again, from what we saw, they got 2 picks, one from Cam Sutton and the other was from Marcellus Branch, I think. I'm not sure if I pronounced his first name correctly.
It's good we're making turnovers, though.
Yeah.
It really is.
Seriously, we continued the turnover. We continued the turnover, promise or potential that we've been doing all preseason. Hopefully that all transitions into the regular season. Week 1's going to be a tough test, but we also had a blocked punt from Ulysses Gilbert III, who's definitely going to make the roster, in my opinion. He has to. I mean, he's just been so fucking consistent and has been making plays all preseason. He's been showing great promise on the field, man, and he has been a fucking demon on special teams, and tonight really showed it. And tonight, if he makes the roster, which he should, he's going to be a fucking monster on special teams beside Tyler Matakavich.
Yes, for real.
Like, seriously, that's really scary, and that beefs up the secondary, the special teams a lot, man.
Especially with his speed and tackling ability and his potential.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
He is this year's Matthew Thomas, only better, man, seriously. They also collected the defense.
Collected, 6 sacks tonight?
Yeah, one was from Chris Kuntz.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a weird name. Christian Kuntz, excuse me. One from Robert Spleen, who I believe is going to make the practice squad. He's been looking real good the last 2 games. One from J-Ron Elliott, who returned it for a touchdown, was like 88 yards or something.
The guy got speed.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big motherfucker, too. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you saw him running and everything. That's a big motherfucker. So, I'm not sure if he's going to make the practice squad or whatever, but that's a good showcase for him. There was also half sacks on Isaiah Buggs and Sutton Smith, although it looked more to be a complete and full sack for Buggs because Smith initially missed the sack and then Buggs just picked up the scraps and everything, which is a good showcase for Buggs, man. You know, we seen decent stuff from Buggs all preseason, but I think this game really took him to the next level. He's definitely going to make the roster. Could be a nice rotational guy, especially on special teams and everything. And Sutton Smith, he's definitely not going to make the roster, which is unfortunate, but I think he's going to be a practice squad development and everything. And hopefully next year he takes it to the next level and everything.
Right.
And speaking of taking it to the next level, and I don't care how you have to do it, you know, we tossed around the idea of getting rid of Jordan Dangerfield and only keeping 4 safeties, which it depends how you look at it, because Jordan Dangerfield is overall our most experienced safety. And if we cut him to make room for Tuzar Skipper, who had 2 fucking sacks in this game, which is just continuing off of his already 3 sacks this preseason. And not to mention, man, like, on the touchdowns that the Panthers scored at the end of the game where they pretty much made the comeback and everything, won the game and everything, you can still see, like, one of the guys that sticks out, especially on that Cameron Sutton interception, man, one guy that sticks out when you look at the pass rush is Tuzar Skipper, man. He is just a fucking bully to these tackles. Like, he is just so fast, so strong, so mean. He is just a fucking savage.
Yeah, seriously,
on
man.
the pass rush, man. He has to make the roster. And like I said, man, although it would definitely hurt the safety position because I feel like Cameron Kelly's definitely going to make it. I feel like Marcus Allen's definitely going to make the roster. Or maybe I don't know. But, you know, looking at, you know, I think from my perspective, I think Cameron Kelly and Marcus Allen are making the roster as our safeties, which would take Jordan Dangerfield out of the picture. That's only 4 safeties on the roster, the 53. But the 2 backups are 2 young developments, which is very worrisome.
And it's a big concern
Right.
because outside of our starters, we have no veteran or experience at the safety position.
Right. However, if the Steelers are serious about possibly converting or moving or swapping Mike Hilton at free safety, then that could help as well.
Right.
It really depends how the Steelers are thinking at it, but Tuzar Skipper needs to make the roster because if you put him on the practice squad or if he gets cut, he's going to get scooped up so fucking fast, and you're going to lose a potential great rotational backup. I know he hasn't showed much on special teams, but he hasn't gotten the chance to. He wants to play special teams, man. He said, "I want to play special teams," and we haven't given him the opportunity. Which sucks because if he played on special teams, he would definitely be a lock for the 53. But he has to be a lock now.
He has to be. He has 5 sacks in 4 preseason games. I think 3 or 4 of those were forced fumbles.
Yeah, dude, there was
a point in this fucking game in the highlights that we saw. There was a point in this game where he was bulldozing a fucking offensive lineman.
Bro, he was so fast on it too, and
not only just that offensive lineman, he did that to like almost every offensive lineman that went up against in this game.
And the great thing about Skipper is he can play left and right. He's so versatile because he dominated on both sides of the defensive line.
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Tuzar Skipper needs to make the roster. If he doesn't make the roster, man, I'm gonna riot. I swear to God, I'm gonna tear all this shit down. I'm gonna fucking punch holes in the wall and shit. He needs to make the roster. And I think someone said it on their last video, man. I can't remember your name. Huge shout out to you, but I think he said that Skipper needs to make the roster, otherwise he'll probably get picked up by New England and become a Pro Bowler, which will probably fucking happen. And we don't need that shit.
No, we don't.
But like you were saying, man.
Yeah, there was a play where he was bulldozing an offensive lineman, and I can't remember who the quarterback was for the Panthers, but he literally just went at the ball with his arm and just ripped it away from his hand. Like that.
Just one arm. Like, all he did was just bulldoze him with his, I think it was like a left stiffy or some shit. I can't remember exactly how, but I know that.
He literally forced an offensive lineman with his one arm and just used his other arm, just stripped it away from the guy's hand.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Skipper is a massive sleeper. The guy has been fucking shining and showing off this entire preseason.
This dude,
no question. He needs to make the 53.
Seriously, preach, man. He's a monster. Like, I don't know what's up with these Toledo guys. Ola Adeni showcased a lot last year. Tuzar Skipper showing a lot this year, man. It's crazy. Otherwise, You know, another thing we've been tossing around is possibly getting rid of Anthony Chickillo, but I highly doubt that because he's shown a lot of good shit on special teams the last few years, and he's a great rotational outside linebacker. I doubt Anthony Chickillo is going to be gone.
Right.
What I would do is I would keep 10 linebackers, 5 inside, 5 outside.
And it has happened before one time since Mike Tomlin has been a head coach. I think that was 2016. We had 10 linebackers.
Was it?
Yeah. Why not do it again?
Seriously. Because, like, every linebacker, and the great thing about the linebackers, man, every linebacker has a role. Devin Bush and Vince Williams are starters. Mark Barron is a great, swap-in guy, rotational guy, everything, and is a great dime backer. Tyler Matakavich is a demon on special teams, is a decent run stuffer. We got Ulysses Gilbert, who will get his feet wet on special teams, will be a demon there. We got T.J. Watt and Bud Dupree, who hopefully show a lot of promise this year because they did in preseason of being a great outside linebacker tandem. Anthony Chickillo and Ola Daney are great rotational guys and can be good special teams guys. And same thing goes for Tuzar Skipper. All linebackers have a role, so it's not like you're just...
They can be useful.
It's not like you're wasting a spot for anyone. All these guys are useful for something.
Seriously, man.
I would keep 10 inside linebackers or 10 linebackers total. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you would do it.
Just find a damn way to do it.
Seriously. Because
Skipper, without question, needs to be on the 53.
Seriously. Skipper and Gilbert. Both of them. Because they're both...
Goddamn, they are the MVPs on the defensive side of the ball this entire preseason.
Yeah. Like, these linebackers came to the ball, man. And the defensive line looked real good as well, too, man. Our pass rush just keeps looking strong through the preseason, which is great. Last week when we had the starters in, Cam Hayward and Stephon Tuitt and Javon Hargrave and Bud Dupree and TJ Watt, man, if all of them can stay healthy, holy fucking shit.
What did Vince Williams say on Twitter? Protect your quarterbacks?
For real.
You might want to, seriously. Because we coming.
Holy fuck, man.
We coming for them quarterbacks. If we coming to sack them motherfuckers.
Man, we talking about a 60 sack season. We've led the league in sacks the last 2 years. Man, I want that exclusive goal of 60.
I feel like it can be done.
We've came so close to it the last 2 years, man. If everyone could stay healthy and continue to just have the drive and the passion and the heart and the hunger,
and
we can
be
eclipse
consistent.
60.
Absolutely.
Man, we need that. I would love that shit, man. Seriously. Set a new franchise single-season sack record, man. I would love that shit. Seriously. Other than that, man, defense didn't really do much. They pretty much allowed touchdowns at the end, but granted, that was mostly fourth-stringers. Freaking Branch and Dean and who else? I really don't know who else they had. PJ Locke.
Neither can I,
but yeah, that's
guys like that.
Yeah,
guys aren't even going to make the team, basically.
Right. Unfortunately for them, but I'm sure most of them will find spots on practice squad because most of them showcase talent. And that's pretty much what tonight's game was about. I expected us to lose and everything, but, it was a great showcase for the guys that needed to showcase, like guys like Mason Rudolph and Delvin Hodges and Tuzar Skipper and Ulysses Gilbert and Sutton Smith and Isaiah Buggy and Robert Spleen, man. This was just a great game for them to showcase what they could do.
And they did.
They delivered. I'm loving that shit, man. It's going to be interesting next 48 hours to see who gets cut, who gets traded, or whatever happens. Kevin Colbert is probably thinking of trade options right now because he's always done that. He does it every year. We've done it, with Ryan Switzer last year. We did it with Justin Gilbert 1 year. I believe that was the year of 2016 or some shit.
Yeah, we did one with, what was his name? J.J. Wilcox.
Yeah, which was 2 years ago. So, we make... It's mostly depth trades, but that's kind of what we need now. We need depth at tight end, so I'm hoping Kevin Colbert is really just thinking, what guys can I target, what guys can I snag, man. Josh Dobbs, I could potentially trade him. Let's see, maybe the Colts, maybe we go get Jack Doyle, maybe we exchange another player, another pick for Jack Doyle, maybe. Maybe the Dolphins or whoever, man. Just start getting your genius going because the last 2 years, you and your trades have been nothing but positive. Absolute positive. You traded for Ryan Switzer, and he has just been, and this is funny too, he traded for Ryan Switzer, who's going to be an absolute great depth piece and a nice rotational guy for the offense. You traded Martavis Bryant away for a third-round pick, which we used to go help trade up to go get Mason Rudolph, who's been showcasing this year. You traded Antonio Brown for a third and fifth, which we used those picks to help go get Devin Bush, who's going to be a fucking monster for us. And you know what's fucking funny? Those are all against the Oakland Raiders. Kevin Colbert's a fucking mastermind. So hopefully he's getting his his trickery going, his magic going, man.
Yeah, seriously. With the amount of trades and ridiculous trades that have happened, he can sure as hell get at least one fucking player.
Seriously.
And I would love that, especially at the time position.
Hopefully that's the case, man. We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting 48 hours. Let us know your guys' thoughts about the game and what you think is going to happen next 40 hours in comments below. Any trade partners, any trade guys you guys could think of, definitely leave them down below and everything. Great showcase for the guys that needed to showcase. They really delivered. Hopefully, most of them definitely made a case for the 53. Hopefully we see them make the 53. You know, guys like I said, Skipper and Gilbert and everything. So,
but preseason is officially over.
It's officially over, and
we are on our way to week 1.
Foxborough. I'm fucking ready. I am so fucking ready. I am so fucking hype. Like, you don't even understand, man. Like,
I'm ready for them now.
Let's fucking go. Like, seriously.
I can't wait. I am so excited.
I'm hyped. I'm pumped.
Sunday night football, man.
Seriously. I'm so fucking hyped, man. I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Anyway, guys, that is the vid. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know your guys' thoughts, comments below. Preseason is over, and it's going to be a pretty unfortunate day, or unfortunate 48 hours for most of the guys, but we'll see what happens and everything. And we'll see you guys in the next one, man.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!